What financial advice would you give your younger self?
I would have told myself, investing isn't for the rich. You get rich by it.
Waimarie Marks, the powerhouse CEO of Hatch, the investing platform that is reshaping Aotearoa's investing and tech landscape. We dive into her journey, from her international roles in the UK and then back home to use her global experience right where it matters. We unpack the mission behind Hatch and investing in today's current economic climate.
If you were going to look into your crystal ball, where are things heading?
It is going to be pretty rocky for a wee while. It feels very uncertain. We also have another 4 years of someone being in charge of one of the biggest countries in the world. We have a few wars going on in the world that are definitely contributing to a very unstable time. It's going to be a while before we correct ourselves. So I think we've got to...
This episode of the Fresh Money Podcast is proudly sponsored by Tangata Tumotu Trust, who have been serving the Pacifica community in Ōtautahi for over 25 years. From health checks to mental wellbeing, youth programs to family support, they know what our Pacific community need, and they deliver it with heart. If you're in Christchurch and need support or want to connect with a team that truly gets it, head to tat.org.nz or call 0800 Pacifica or 0800 727 434. Just a quick note, this podcast is for education and entertainment purposes only. If you need financial advice, please make sure you contact a financial advisor to get professional advice. Talofa lava, I'm Willie Leota and welcome to the Fresh Money Podcast, where we break the taboo and talk about all things money. And today we have the amazing Waimarie Marks, the CEO of the investment platform Hatch. Sweet, Waimarie, how are you?
Cold? No, actually, I'm quite warm. This place
I heard
is pretty good.
it's always sunny here in Wellington.
Never. And the wind will always catch you out. Yeah.
Or it's just when I decide to come to Wellington.
Yeah. Actually, I came back yesterday from Auckland and it was really nice.
Yeah.
Auckland was a little bit blah, but yeah. Today is terrible, but oh well.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Fresh Money Podcast.
Thanks for having me. Nervous, yet excited, and
Sweet.
here to have a chat.
Yeah, that's it. That's Talanoa.
Yeah.
Here to talk about yourself and what you do,
Yeah.
and your kind of money story.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
I probably have a few not so good ones, but yeah sure.
Sweet. So tell me a bit about your role at Hatch,
Yeah.
and what is Hatch for those who don't know?
Yeah, okay. Well, Hatch is a US trading platform within New Zealand that allows everyday New Zealanders to grow their meaningful wealth and investing in companies and brands that they know around the world.
Wow.
We've been around since 2018, and I was lucky enough to join a group of incredible humans in 2021. And obviously I've been there ever since.
Yeah, awesome.
And I've had different roles since joining at Hatch.
Cool.
I started off as a business development manager. We were mostly looking at our strategic partnerships on the platform and what other products and services we wanted to kind of bring in. When I did join, we were also in the midst of being sold out of our original owners, which was at Kiwi Wealth. So I worked with a group across Kiwi Wealth and Hatch to find our new home, and we got that at the end of 2021 at the wealth management platform FNZ.
Nice.
Which is a little, it's not actually little, but the story about them is not very well known. They started in Wellington back in the early 2000s by a man called Adrian Durham, and they've grown to be like this global mega wealth platform solution.
What is FNZ?
That's just it.
So FNZ is the name of the company.
FNZ.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It spun out of another business that was in Wellington as well. So
Nice.
yeah, and its roots are in New Zealand too, which kind of is awesome for Hatch as well. But yeah, globally there's around 5,500 employees who deal with this. So so we're a tiny little bit within a massive global corporate, which is it's exciting. It's a challenge too.
Yep.
Also part of the journey, we brought in another business from Jarden in 2022. This is a lot.
That's a lot of changes.
And we launched the Invest Direct platforms within Hatch 1st of February this year. So a lot of change going on, a lot of new parts of the business to bring together, integrate into a larger global corporate. So there's been heaps of change, which is quite good. And yeah, I have several roles, obviously. Then I moved into like a head of delivery space to oversee our engineering and product area. And then was, I guess, fortunate enough to be appointed CEO in 2023.
Awesome.
So that was really cool. Fortunate.
Well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, and it's been a wicked journey.
Yeah.
Lots of challenging times, but also things that I'm like, oh, I would never have got to have this opportunity to experience this, good or bad. So I take a lot of learnings over the last couple of years. It's been a wild ride, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
I bet. Yeah. And what does a typical day look like for
me?
you? Yeah.
I'll start from
like you're on a podcast today.
Yeah, this is definitely not a typical day. A typical day for me, we are based in Brandon Street, so quite central. I generally work from the office because I like to be around the team. And
how many staff do you have on it?
We have 40,
wow.
I think, if I remember looking at the numbers the other day. Yeah, we have 40, mostly based in Wellington. We have a team up in Auckland as well, and a couple of remote workers too. But yeah, so we've got a good number. My typical day is normally coming in, scanning all the emails or Teams messages or Slack or all those things and working out what is the biggest fire I need to put out first.
Yep.
It feels like that. Also juggling children in the morning to get off to school.
How many kids?
I got 2 daughters,
Oh, awesome.
11 and 9.
Wow.
To be honest, they're at that age now where they're fairly self-sufficient in the morning.
Great ages.
Yeah,
11 and 9.
really good. So that
They still kind of listen to you.
kind of a little bit. The 11-year-old, not so much. The 9-year-old,
Yes.
definite. So that's good. But yeah, get in, kind of prioritize what's mostly on fire first, and then kind of get stuck in. And like, I'd love to say, like, I keep my calendar is typically pretty full, but also, just things pop up all the time that you gotta deal with, and you just get on with it. It's
Wow.
every Monday, I'm not gonna lie, I do start with great, I'm going to achieve these 5 things off the top of the list of that's like 7,000 long. No, that list normally changes throughout the day. And I'm like, and then get to Friday and you're like, oh, re-look back at the week. Like, what did we do? What did we achieve? Oh, we achieved these things. They were not on this list at all, but that's okay.
But that was still good.
Yeah, we're moving forward.
We still won.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, awesome. I want to come back to Hatch.
Great.
But tell me a bit about like where we brought up.
Yep.
Were you whakapapa to?
Yeah. So my mum is half Cook Island and my dad is half Māori. So I have a lot of Palangi, I guess, English in me as well from my both of my families. I was born in Palmerston North.
Wow, great place.
Great
actually.
place. Great place. My dad's family is from the Wairarapa, so I spent a lot of my early childhood in Ikitahuna.
Oh, nice.
And then we moved as a family down to Wellington when my dad joined the Ministry of Transport, the old MOT.
Yep.
So we lived around the Wellington region most of my childhood.
Yep.
And then when my mum decided to join the New Zealand Police Force, we, after training, and then you get assigned to the regions that you kind of go to, we moved up to the Hawke's Bay. Nice. So we're up in Napier, Taradale for 3 years.
Yeah.
And at the time, my dad also was playing, he was still in the police, obviously transferred into the police force when that all happened. And then so they were both police officers up there. My dad was playing rugby league. He used to play for the Hawke's Bay Unicorns back in the day.
Wow.
But yeah, had a few years up there, really loved it. But then with work, with my parents' jobs, I think my mum got transferred back down to Lower Hutt. So we transitioned back as a family to the Hutt, and I went to college at Sacred Heart in the Hutt. And
nice.
Yeah, and it'd been like, I would say Wellington is the base, but like the Wairarapa is where my parents live in Masterton now, so nice. kind of come full circle to be in this area. But
that's cool. What do you remember from like your upbringing and kind of moving around? Like, were your mum and dad good with money? Did they? What did you learn from them? Because a lot of our money skills or lack of skills, we kind of essentially learn from our parents first, so.
Like I will say, I never felt like we were poor because we weren't. I do know that especially in my early childhood, like we definitely lived very paycheck to paycheck. And like my parents would tell the story. It was like, I think it was when my sister was born. She's a couple of years younger than me. Like they ate baked beans for every meal for so long, and that's now the thing that they can't really eat anymore. Like I also have a very similar thing when we moved to the Hawke's Bay. Obviously sweet corn or corn on the cob, all of that was quite cheap, which is great. But I swear to God, we probably ate it for every meal for about a year. So I can't stand it now. Like it's just one of those things you get completely turned off from. But how were they with money? Like I don't think they'll mind me sharing. They were not the greatest, but they didn't have like people to follow that were that great either. But they did a really good job of making us at least not feel like we didn't have much, but we definitely didn't. But we also, the coolest thing about, I think, my childhood and growing up is the group of friends that are family, like that were wrapped around them. So my parents moved down to Wellington, but also so did their like best friends. And we all kind of grew up in this little hub together. And like no one was rich, but everyone kind of just helped each other out. So yeah, like they
still
were
had
fantastic.
that community.
And they were from Ikitahuna too, so all of those things. So yeah, just a really, you always felt like it was okay, but it was probably, I could imagine it being very stressful. And like you would definitely see it sometimes, but they did as much as they could to make it feel like it was okay. But yeah, no, they definitely weren't. And I definitely learned a lot of my early money habits from them. And if you talk to my husband, he'll probably say I still have a lot of those traits in me as well. I wouldn't say I'm particularly savvy or anything like that. I am fortunate enough to not worry about it so much anymore, but that's now at the ripe old age of 41. But, you know,
only young.
I don't feel it some days. But back definitely in my late teens, early 20s, terrible. And that's only because you've only been like, you're mirroring the same thing that you've always seen. So it was really hard to like change. And it took a long time for sure, but getting there slowly. And I'm hoping now with my two daughters, like we do we're really open about talking about money, the value of it, the cost of things and how it all works. I think sometimes I probably go to the extreme to kind of scare them a little bit about it, which is less than ideal. But also I don't want to shy away from talking about it because we need to normalize it. The more we talk about it, the more it's not such a scary taboo subject, and it makes it easier for people to kind of navigate when it is really hard, and who they can go and talk to and what they can utilize and where they can find areas to help. Because I don't know, I think I listened to an earlier podcast that you had, Hannah
McQueen.
Hannah McQueen, and she was like, people like look at their own personal value and sometimes put it against money as well. And is that a really good metric of like deeming yourself successful?
It's not a great thing either, is it?
No, but like it's an outward thing that people can like resonate with. So
were your parents surprised that you became the CEO of an investment platform?
Definitely. I think so. Well, yeah. If I'd asked them 10 years ago to say, is this what I'd be doing? They'd probably have they'd never have a clue. But also, it's funny because I lived over in the UK for almost 13 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we talked about work, but we didn't, because that wasn't the thing you caught up on, but they were obviously always interested. But then coming back and working at Hatch and seeing the transition that we did, obviously, from one owner to a new one and the things that were going on at work, they could probably see potential, but they would never have thought CEO. And I don't think we've had anyone in a position like that within my family.
So good.
But the timing of becoming the CEO, one of my dad's brothers, unfortunately, he got really sick with cancer really, really quickly. It was actually around the time so my dad and I share the same birthday. So
real?
Yeah. So I turned 40, he turned 60.
Yeah.
So we were celebrating 100th birthday, obviously, together. And around that time, it was
so
a little
cool.
bit. It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But the sad thing happened. My uncle got really, really sick and passed away really, really quickly. And it was one of my dad's. Yeah, thanks. One of my dad's older brothers. But he had been working. So he was only 63. So he was really young. He'd been working full time since he was 14. Like,
Far out.
and he'd done everything. He owned a sharing run. He drove trucks. Had his taxi service. He worked in New Zealand and Australia. But like, this man would work 1,000 hours a week, and it was really quick, the decline. But also, like, he was also a huge motivator for me.
Yep.
Like, I think the relationship I had with him, I always felt like I had to prove myself.
Yep.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah,
There's all these really weird family dynamics,
Yep.
but definitely had to feel like I had to prove myself, even though I know deep down I didn't have to. It was never going to be like that.
Yep.
But one of the like things that I got to share with him just before he passed away is that I had kind of like made it, I guess is the way of saying it. And I got to share with him
So
before I
cool.
told anyone else that I'd just been appointed as CEO. And it was actually it was a really nice, wholesome
Really
moment
cool.
for us.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and because I knew, honestly, I've never seen someone work so hard in their entire life. And you know what? The stink thing is he doesn't get to enjoy the fruits of that now.
Yeah.
Like, didn't even get to get his KiwiSaver because he wasn't old enough to get all those things. So just things like that, I'm like, it makes you appreciate like the journey. And he helped shape me because he definitely showed like hard work is a way to get forward. But then
That's right.
Yeah.
It's this tricky balance, because
it definitely is.
tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, if tomorrow is there, you still have to plan for it.
Exactly.
And work and save and
Yeah.
invest and
and do all those things. Like, because you don't, you're right. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed,
Yeah.
but you want to be ready because hopefully we've got ages to go,
Yeah.
and then you can enjoy it as much as you can. Yeah. So,
big time.
but yeah, no, they would never have thought it, but they're definitely super proud.
Yeah,
and,
that's so cool.
and it's really cool to bring them on that journey as well. Like, my mum is super impressive herself, and she was the first Pacifica female to be an inspector in the New Zealand Police and things like that. And people don't recognize that as much.
Wow.
Like, she did an epic job, and I feel like I'm now able to share like some of the great things that I've been able to
Cool.
do with her, and she's definitely been a huge inspiration. So
Wow.
it's nice to be able to enjoy it together. Yeah.
I think it's so important to have people in your family
Yeah.
or people like yourself in these roles
Yeah.
that people can see people who look like us and go, that's possible.
Totally.
right?
And
It's possible.
I was fortunate enough last week to speak at the Pacifica networking event up at Vic Uni.
Oh, awesome.
And to be fair, I honestly thought there would be like 2 tables of 10 people in it. There are 150 of these kids and I call them kids even though they're probably Chinese, that were there first thing in the morning,
way.
like 8 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, to come and listen to a panel of 4 very different individuals in different industries, like just understanding how we got there, what it could look
cool,
like.
cool.
And we all like, I actually really enjoyed it. I was very nervous. I'm not a huge fan of public speaking, and sometimes I'm like, oh, my story is a little average. But it was really cool to see these kids and really connect with them, and like you say, see people in roles doing things that they're like, oh, this is possible.
What?
Like, I can see
Yeah.
someone like me
Yep.
doing these things, and yeah, it was really
And
humbling.
as good as like sports heroes
Yeah.
and role models are, there's this whole other thing that we have kind of taken for granted.
Yeah.
These investment firms that we could, but we just haven't seen people there.
Exactly. And like, the cool thing about like what we do at Hatch is we allow people to do the investing at the time that works for them, and also gives them opportunities, like I said, to buy into companies or funds and things that they'd never thought possible, because it was only for really rich people to be able to do investing.
Yes.
And it's not now. Like, this is one of the cool things about the whole like democratization of investing with these platforms. And that's one of the leading drivers for us at Hatch, is getting more and more New Zealanders in to do the things that work for them at the time that works for them.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be rich to do it. In fact, you should invest to make yourself rich.
That's the
point.
purpose of it. Yeah,
Don't be
yeah.
rich, then start investing.
yeah.
Do it to make you rich.
Yeah, cool.
It's part of it.
So, so how did Hatch start? Where did that come from?
Yeah, so Hatch is, like I said, I wasn't at the beginning, but I can tell a bit of the story. So it started in this incubator, like tech part that I believe was run by Kiwi Bank.
Gotcha.
I will say that. And Kristen Lumman, who is now also the co-founder of PowerSuit, which is
yes.
an awesome women's
I have seen-
networking
yeah.
community. people should get amongst it. She was leading it. I think she was the facilitator within this incubator. And a few ideas obviously came out of that, and that's kind of how Hatch spun out of that.
Wow.
Also another platform spun out of that same incubator as well, and they're doing exceptional.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is that New Zealanders got to get a taste of what it could be like to have access to things that, as I mentioned, were only ever deemed for the rich before. So yeah, like obviously a great incubator.
At that time, like fintechs or financial technology companies, there was something in the water then, eh?
Definitely there were. Like
there was a few
things that came out of that kind of space. And if you look at like some really awesome opportunities now, like Blink Pay and all of those parts that are in there, like there were some cool bits that came out of a period of time, I think late 2017, early 2018, that, you know, it's actually really helping to drive the New Zealand economy now, which is epic.
Especially here in Wellington too.
It was a huge hub, in Wellington, I think is still a massive fintech hub. It feels like it. And like I said, you know, FNZ came out of it, 20 years earlier, but the same kind of thing, like people seeing a gap in the market, understanding what opportunities could come from it, and really going for it. So that's really cool. So they started there, and they focused on opening up access to the biggest market in the world, which is obviously the US, and that's been a real driver.
Prior to that, you had to have quite a bit of money. And it was mainly through the banks? Is that right?
Mainly through the banks or brokerage firms and all those types of things. You had to talk to someone, and then they had to kind of evaluate you based on what you had and what it looked like. And their fees were extreme. And some of them still are, but some are getting a lot better. But and it was normally the way you would be introduced to it was like, you know, someone at the golf club probably that could put you in touch with a financial advisor. And like we know, a lot of us aren't part of those circles, and we're not there. So it was always just another barrier. Like the cool thing is about the investing platforms and what we provide to our customers is we're removing those barriers, breaking them all down, because for so long they were up and it made you feel not as smart. And actually anyone can do this.
It actually made you feel dumb.
Which is horrible. And actually it doesn't need to be like that.
Especially when they would go, the minimum you need to have was like, you know, 150 or 200K.
Who has that? No one has that.
Sorry. I feel dumb for asking.
Exactly.
Because I have nowhere near that amount.
But I want to get that. Like, how do I get that? But it would. So I'm really thankful for that entire space and how that's really, like, I feel like we've broken through those barriers in New Zealand really, really well. And there are other markets that are doing it too. And like I mentioned, like I'd been in the UK for a while, and So it was cool to see once I returned that New Zealand had like caught up and started doing the right thing.
If you're serious about buying your first home, make sure you check out the First Home Buyers Masterclass. In this masterclass, we take you through the whole home buying journey, from getting pre-approved, finding your property, to settling. This will take out a lot of the confusion and make your home buying journey a lot easier. Make sure you check out the link below for our masterclass. What kind of roles did you have in the UK?
When I first started, I moved over and I worked for a company called Net-a-Porter, and they were a high-end online fashion company, like major high-end, like all of the like Burberrys and all of those like major labels. I'm not much of a fashionista, as you can probably tell, but I worked in their finance team as a fraud analyst, which was interesting. So that was cool. And then I got
fraud
because people were trying to purchase these very expensive goods, but they'd get, because it was an online store, then you'd obviously ship them out and all that kind of stuff. The Net-a-Porter taught me a lot about the things that some people are really really important. And but like also they had the best customer service. Like we would have like same day delivery within central London when I started, and then Manhattan and New York when they opened up there. Exquisite. And I was like, I can see why people like pay premium for this stuff. And it was awesome. Like that was a real, and like the first job in London, like that was definitely different. And it was really cool. And then I transitioned into a role at a place called Net Roadshow, which is effectively where I spent the rest of my time.
Oh, true.
I was lucky enough. So they are an online digital marketing platform that investment banks use to do pre-deal and post-deal roadshows and
no way.
based in the US. Yeah. But when I went for a role, it was like opening up a London office.
Okay.
So for a couple of years, I was the only person doing it in London. And it was cool. I learned a lot about the investment banking and the working with the deal teams and on the desks and the syndicate desks to kind of work through what they're doing. And yeah, it was awesome. And one of the cool things about the company itself is that, yes, I worked a little bit by myself for a wee while, but always like the funniest thing about my boss at the time, and he probably still does it a little bit too, because I was the only person, he would be like, oh, one of our clients has a spare desk in this office. You can go work there. And I would be like, okay, cool. So I got to work in some of the nicest buildings in London. Nice. So it was all good. But like, it was.
So your boss was?
He was in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's based in Atlanta. Funny dude, like super smart, and it was really awesome. But he'd be like, oh yeah, there's a spare desk at like this bank. You can go and work there for a while. And be like, okay, cool. Like it was, but it was also a really cool way to meet a lot of different people. So it went really well. But you know, we grew, which was great. And I got to establish the London team. That was really awesome. I really enjoyed doing that and bringing people in. And I also met one of my best friends doing that. Actually, I met her at netball, and she overheard me talking about a job to another friend. And then later on, she was like, you know, you still got that job going? And I was like, 100%. Let's have a wine and talk about it.
Wow.
And then we were pretty much inseparable ever since, which is great.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we set up the team there and the business grew, which is awesome. And then I got the opportunity to help set up our Hong Kong office as well. We had already had a couple of team members established there, but we got to grow it there as well. Yeah, it was, I loved it. Like, 13 years at a place is a long time. But I wouldn't change it. And like, they supported me. Like, I had my children in the UK. And sometimes I would think, oh, maybe I need a change. But like, it's super helpful to go back to something that you really know. And you're like, I was pretty good at it. Like, so it was good.
Cool.
And I loved it. In fact, when I was saying I'm going to move back to New Zealand, my children are starting school, I think my boss was a little bit like, no, you're not. Why would you leave London? I was like, very good question. I don't know why I want to leave London.
Because when you're there, it's just, you're kind of in this time warp, and you forget about
you really do.
Back in New Zealand.
You do.
And time just flies.
Well, that's the thing. I literally went over for 2 years. Stayed for like 13. Like it just
was it like a working holiday?
Yeah, it started off as a working holiday, then came back and renewed my visa, and then got partner visa. That we just went through. Then we became British citizens. Nice. Well, may as well. Nice. We do the whole thing. Yeah, and then the girls were born there. And coming back to New Zealand was a major decision to make. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, the timing in terms of my own career wasn't amazing. Like, I just stepped into this global role at Net Roadshow as well. Wow. But you do the things that you need to at a certain period of time. And my oldest daughter was starting school, so it was either now or never. Like, it was that kind of thing.
Because schooling is very different there.
It is very different, which is another thing I would probably get onto. But very different, but also, and like being close to family, right? Like, I'd been away for ages. Like, my husband's parents, we'd been away from them for a long time too. And like, just coming back and my kids getting to grow up with their cousins. Yeah. So, it was a massive transition. But although on rainy days like this, I don't really love it. But it was, it's been good. Yeah,
cool. What are some of the things you learnt in those roles there that have come into your kind of role as CEO?
Yeah. Like, I think, when people talk about their own superpowers that you want to talk about, and mine is definitely, I'm a problem solver. Yeah, cool. Like, to be fair, like, I wouldn't sit here and say I'm definitely not an entrepreneur. Like, I have big ideas, and I do, but I'm also the person that you come to make those big ideas real. Yeah, cool. I am that person. I love to solve problems or like create new opportunities for people. And that's the part that I think helped me become who I am today. Yeah. And so that's definitely my superpower. I'm fairly I feel like I'm pretty relatable. I'm pretty laid back. I like to get in and help people where I can. I'm pretty open. And I just, and have I think all good leaders should have a well of empathy. And I think I do that pretty well.
Yeah, awesome.
It's hard, but I enjoy it. And the problem solving part is the part I really love to do.
Cool.
And I love to see things like come to fruition. Like, someone's had this amazing concept and that they've worked through it and done all these things. And I'm like, cool. Okay, well, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll find the people with the right skills, or we'll learn them ourselves.
Awesome.
And we'll go get it done. Yeah, I really enjoy that part of it.
Yeah. Because I'm more of an ideas person.
Well, we would work really, really well together. Because
and my wife is similar to you, like person who gets it actually done.
Yeah.
Get the stuff done.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that is, without that, without people
you need
like
both,
yourself,
right? Yeah, you definitely need both, which is that's why it when it works really, really well. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
awesome.
No.
In terms, you kind of said about leadership before.
Yeah.
What kind of, or if describing yourself, what kind of leader would you say you are?
I am definitely like a leader, like by example, like do as I do. Kind of, I think. And maybe I should ask my work colleagues what they think.
Well, we could. No.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like to lead by example. I like to bring people on the journey because I'm also very, very aware that my skills are limited. And I like to share the knowledge. It's funny, though, because when you get into this particular role or a job title and all those types of things, I learned the hard way about what you share and where you share it and how that goes, because it's funny because I came from being within the team to then being the leader of the team.
Yes. Totally different roles,
such a different role, although all of the same people.
Yeah.
So I always find I found that transition quite hard. And then like I'm a person, like I will share the knowledge because I think if I can collaborate with other people, I'll probably find the answer faster. But it has burnt me too, and it does. And so I've had to like learn to, you kind of curate what you're saying to who and how, which
not out of trying to hold it.
No,
but it's just
mostly because like it's weird. Like I said, I came from within the team, so I was the same person. But when you get a different title, it's all of a sudden, oh, you do know best. Like you must know. You must have the answer. I was like, oh no, I still don't have the answers like I did yesterday. But same.
Yeah.
But yeah, not to hide it. That's not it. But we, the work that we're doing, and especially some of the stuff behind the scenes, it's uncertain and it changes. It gets reprioritized.
True.
There's a lot of ambiguity, and we're trying to solve problems that we're trying to define if they are problems yet, or are they opportunities? And like you're pulling on all this information. And I'm also a person who will sit at my desk and talk out loud. Sound a little bit crazy.
Just working it through.
Yeah. So I'm used to just talking with people and being like, well, I found this out. How do we do this? How do we do this? But I also noticed the impact that had on some people. And then me looking like I'm a little bit uncertain. No, I'm just trying to work through the problem. But then them being like getting anxious and worried. And I was like, no.
Because I'll work things out in my head.
Yeah.
But
and
obviously other people don't.
And so the curating of the information to the right areas at the right time is a skill that I'm continuing to develop and I'm getting better at it. But it's definitely one. Yeah, it's been an interesting transition into that. But yeah, my leadership style is definitely, I want to bring everyone on the journey.
Awesome.
I'm not the smartest person because I definitely am not. I surround myself with smart people. That's what I do.
Yeah,
and that's the best thing that I can do.
Yeah, it is the best way to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, no, come along the journey with me. And I've got your back. Like, I'm 100% behind you. So don't fear that I'll leave you hanging or anything like that. No. You're one of my people. I've got you. So
awesome.
I like to do it that way.
And is that like some of your kind of family values coming through? It's
definitely.
Like, hey, come on, let's go.
Definitely. Like my parents were really young when they had me, right? So I feel like we really grew up together and like developed. And we've got we're not a really, really tight knit family, but we have each other. And like my sister, she lives in Sydney with her family, her 2 kids as well. And we don't see each other that often, but we're always there.
In terms of like share market,
Yeah.
what kind of patterns and behaviours are you seeing your guys' customers invest in at the moment, given the uncertainty with Trump and Trump economics and all that's happening in the world with wars and things like that?
Yeah. Well, what I have enjoyed seeing, and obviously this is a moment in time, is that it's going up and down constantly. Yeah. But, with Liberation Day, as he likes to call it, and the Trump tariffs, the good thing that we've seen across the platform is that, yes, some people's portfolios are going down, and they have. But what has been nice to see is that people aren't crystallizing those losses and selling out too quickly, because a lot of the stocks and ETFs and stuff have bounced back. It was a small pocket of time that it's actually come back.
Which we knew they would do, but there's something different when there's emotion involved.
Totally. And I won't get into what I think about what's going on in America. It's horrendous. But also, what we saw across our platform, as obviously I can talk about, is around the fact that we actually saw people investing more money.
Interesting.
And if they did need to sell up on a certain part, they'd sell up and then rebuy in something else that was actually doing all right. Because not everything went down.
That's right.
Lots of things went up as well. So it was a good time for people to kind of rebalance and relook. And we've actually had more and more people depositing funds into the platform. And we've had April has been pretty decent. And with our InvestorX side as well, we cover the New Zealand and Aussie markets in that space too. The New Zealand market is obviously a lot smaller. Yes. But, it's been fairly steady. Yep. It's still continuing. Will I say it's an upward trend? Probably not. It's pretty flat. But, people are still actively engaged, looking at opportunities. So it's actually been fairly good. And what I have loved to see is that people are taking on the education that they've learned and gone through and done that research and realizing, you know what, if I can wait, I should.
Yes.
And they have.
Because typically people are running for the hills.
Get out, I've got to go, I'll do it now. But I was like, if you do that, like I mentioned, then the loss is real.
Yes.
So, and you never get an opportunity to get that back. So if you can wait it out, which we have seen a really positive change from other dips that have happened, they have. And actually they've rebounded back, or they're fairly close to. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people are looking at their KiwiSaver balances.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But again, if you're in it for the long term, which most people are with their KiwiSaver, obviously, it swings and roundabouts, and it will get better.
Yeah.
Just got to wait out the bad times. And if you have an opportunity to get in and do more when it's a little bit low, well, then you're getting a bit of a bargain,
Yeah, totally.
So, it's been actually quite positive, so, which is great. And I think it's come a lot from the fact that there's a lot of people out there talking around financial literacy and education and
far educating. More than, let's say 10 years ago.
Exactly. Yep. And people are just... there's some really good, rich information out there that people are really absorbing, and it's nice to see the patterns kind of come through, which is super important. Yeah.
In terms of Hatch going forward,
yes.
Are you guys working on anything you're allowed to talk about? And what does your future and hopes and dreams look like for Hatch?
Yeah, I have No, I probably can't drop anything. But the thing that I can talk about is we are doing a lot in the background that for customers right now, they won't see, and they'll be like, what are you doing? But we're getting ourselves into a position to be sustainable and here for the long term. That's the whole point. We, like I mentioned, we do support other markets via our InvestorX business that we have brought in the last couple of years. And so we have a product suite that kind of covers all of the markets that most New Zealanders invest in. So it's really, really good. But it's our job right now is transitioning that to a space that is scalable for everybody in terms of having access to the right places at the right time to do the right things. And we're in a bit of a transition phase. But my hopes and dreams is to get it to a point that, I love the fact that we, combined across our platforms, we have over 100,000 investors, which is a large number, not as large as some other platforms, but a really decent engagement level too. And I want to continue to open up opportunities for those people to grow their wealth.
Correct.
So, and it's not just the access. Like, access is awesome, but you need education around it, because, you know, if you don't have that, there's so many things that come into it. And like, one of our big drivers is educating people and meeting them where they are on their journey. Because, you know, 5-6 years ago, everyone was kind of a beginner in the space. That's great. But, you know, they've evolved. They've got further down the track. Yes. So what does the education pieces need to look like for those people? And what are the things that are, you know, looking forward that we need to start thinking about and start talking about and bringing people up to speed so we don't fall behind.
Wow.
So the few pieces moving along. We've got an awesome team that are doing some pretty incredible things without a lot to show out in the public at the moment. But, you know, I'm excited.
Yeah. Cool. And if you were to go back and talk to your younger self, what financial advice would you give your younger self?
That's a good question. Actually, someone did ask me that the other day. Someone said this at work earlier too. They were like, always pay yourself first. Make sure you've done that. I'm like, yep. But also, I would have told myself, like, investing isn't for the rich. You get rich by investing. And the best time to start investing was yesterday. The next best time is today. And however much you have, little or a lot, get it in, get the money working hard for you while you're also working hard at something else. Like, they can run in parallel. That's the whole point. Make your money work while you're working, doing all the other things. That's probably it. And also, like, there is good and bad debt, and we all kind of understand that. But don't be sucked in by, like, some of these deals to, like, the instant gratification, getting it really quick, because it will come back to bite you in the butt later on. And it does. But it's hard. Like, we live in a time right now, like, our children, everything's instant, right? It's real time, even though we know a lot of it isn't, but it is like that. So
it is
like getting people
waiting.
Set a goal, work towards it, you achieve it. The actual euphoria you get from it when you've done all that is so much
outweighs
more. Because that instant hit right then, it's over in a second and it's gone. But you can set that goal,
it's cool.
Save, do whatever, work towards it, and when you actually achieve it, it's so much better.
Awesome. My final question for you is, what does wealth mean to you?
To me personally, well, there's a couple of things, but one thing it does mean to me is to have wealth, to have built wealth, to have it there it's one less thing for me to worry about, because there's so many things to worry about in this world. And if I've done the right things to help support myself in the right way and build up this wealth, I don't have to worry about it. So I think it's like, one part of it is definitely one less worry. And also the other part is wealth can be in many forms. Health is obviously totally important. But like knowledge, all of those things. So do the best part to share that, because then more people can grow their wealth, whatever that looks like, and be part of a journey with you. And I'm all about, like, sharing the knowledge.
So good. Waimarie, thank you so much for coming on the Fresh Money podcast. It's been awesome having you on here. Where do people find out more about Hatch?
Perfect. hatchinvest.nz. Cool. We also have a getting started course. So if investing is new for you, we have a 10-day getting started investing course. Small snippets that get sent out to your email every day. Cool. Small actionable items that can be done. And look us up.
Awesome. We'll make sure the link is below.
Perfect.
So, thank you so much.
Thank you.